Hello everybody and welcome to my comic review. I am Rainbow Red Panda and today I am going to be reviewing The Occultist #1. It is written by Tim Seeley and illustrated by Mike Norton. Now, if those names sound all familiar to you, there are many reasons. The main one, if you are strictly a comic fan, is they work together on the very successful Image series Revival. If you haven't checked out Revival, I would highly suggest doing so. But this is not about Revival. This is about The Occultist. They announced this back at C2E2 a while back. I was there and I remember being at their booths because they're always like side by side whenever they go to conventions. They work together. They're both part of like 4 Star Comics, which is a Chicago-based comic company, and they always are side by side at conventions, at least all the ones that I've been to. They have this amazing chemistry together, and I love whenever they announce that they're doing a project together because it's always amazing. Of course, Tim Seeley also does Hack Slash, which I really, really like, and he's also doing the Army of Darkness versus Hack Slash series right now as well, which I've done reviews on if you want to check those out. But anyway, back to The Occultist. This is sort of I want to say a continuation almost of a past Occultist comic series. They did not have anything to do with that series whatsoever, and I personally have not read that, so I don't know exactly if it's like a direct spin-off or if they just take the same book. But the basis of The Occultist is there is a college student named Rob Bailey, who is also known as the Occultist whenever he's in his little power mode. His power comes from the sword, which is not a blade. It is a book that has spells and powers, and it helps him. It sort of possesses him almost. The book pretty much has control of everything. If he needs something from it, he can ask the book to, bring me this spirit or something like that. But ultimately, the book pretty much has the power. And from the way it sounds, if the book doesn't like him or if he doesn't use the book properly, the book can basically, say, no, you're not going to use my powers. It can basically destroy him, which in the end, that's kind of what it sounds like happens. Like if the book does not like you and you are not chosen during your apprenticeship, it basically destroys you and you die. So he has that to look forward to if he fails. He's still in his apprenticeship at this time. His mentor is named Mr. Charles, and Mr. Charles has a story. I think half of the story to me is just Mr. Charles and all of his strangeness. In front of Rob, he seems to be this nice guy, oh, I'm gonna help you, you should be studying, the manuals on the book and everything. But whenever Rob's not around, Mr. Charles, he is kind of, I don't know, it's almost like he's sick. He coughs a lot and everything's, I mean, if you look at the man, he is a little overweight. This is a picture of Mr. Charles. He is this guy right here. That's sort of in the end. He's not around Rob at this point, but he is, this big overweight guy who apparently likes spicy food. That's kind of what he blames his sickness on to Rob, but it seems that when Rob is able to control the book, whenever he's able to control the sword, it kind of makes Mr. Charles weaker. So I'm thinking, have not been confirmed or denied at this point, but I'm thinking that Mr. Charles was the past person who had this sword. He was the past occultist, and he sort of passed the sword on, to his apprentice that he has selected. He's training him, and then basically it seems that after his training is done, he's no longer needed. He's basically probably going to die or move on to, I don't know, a spirit world or something. That is just my complete assumption. Obviously, in the first issue of a book, you're not going to give all that away, but that would, just based on some of the things that he says or the interactions that he has with some other characters, seems like that is the way it's going to go. He has, one of his weird, secret things is he has this man in his bedroom, and his name is Jacob Elder. He is a very old man. He lives in a cage. He has him caged in his bedroom, and every time I see Jacob Elder, I think that he looks exactly like Stan Lee. I actually tweeted this to Mike Norton today. I was like, did you base this character off of Stan Lee? Because to me, he does. He just looks like this very old, grumpy Stan Lee. There's Jacob Elder, this old man right here. there's just something about him. I'm just like, does Mike Norton or Tim Seeley, depending on, what caused Mike Norton to draw him like that, but does he have some sort of like problem with Stan Lee? Only time will tell, but I don't know. I think hopefully that Mike Norton will at least address my tweet. So maybe in the second issue review of the series, I will have that answer for you. There is another character in this book. Her name is Anna Melendez. She's also known as Detective Melendez, and she is Rob's partner. She doesn't have any sort of powers. I'm not sure if she's actually like part of any sort of police agency or if she just is called detective, but she helps him out. In the first few pages, they are in this building. They are sort of getting rid of these undead babies who were abandoned as orphaned. They were like in an orphanage. They were abandoned. They sort of never really moved on. They're just these like undead zombie-ish type creatures that are feeding on humans and flesh and things to sort of control the hunger that they were not allowed to have controlled while they were human. So they feed off of human flesh. That is the occultist's first mission, is to get rid of these undead babies. He does this by summoning the spirit of the lady who neglected them all of those years ago. They feed on her spirit and he is able to vanquish that. So, I don't know. Besides that, after that is when he goes to see Mr. Charles. You definitely learn that he has a thing for Anna Melendez. He has a big crush on her. He sort of goes to try and address that. And I don't know, other than that, I don't know, that's the main points of the story. I like it a lot. I think it has a lot of depth. For a first issue, I was really, really impressed. You get a lot of information. There's some backstory that would be nice to know, but it's not horrible that you don't. I'm guessing that it will be addressed later on in the series. I don't know if the fact that Jacob Elder looks like Stan Lee, I don't think that's going to be addressed at all, but I think that a lot of other questions that I had will be. So I'm looking forward to that. So if you guys are interested in The Occultist, it's not a complete horror comic, but it goes towards that direction. So it is October, which is, Halloween's at the end of the month. So if you're looking for something to read that is interesting and sort of, have like undead babies and spirits and all of that kind of stuff, you can definitely check out The Occultist. I would highly, highly recommend it. I think it's going to be a really good series. It's only 5 issues, so I'm sure that after the 5 are done, I'm going to want more. So hopefully, if that's the case, that Mike Norton and Tim Seeley can deliver that to me. But I don't know, overall, I would definitely recommend it. I think it would appeal to just about anybody, unless you are strictly a superhero comic only person. I think you would like it. So with that, go check out The Occultist. If you guys have read it, let me know what you think. If you've read the previous ones, let me know what you think of those as well, because I think I'm probably going to have to track those down and read them. But I don't know, I think Dark Horse has another hit on their hands. So with that, I will let you guys go and read whatever comics you decide to read. So bye!